Verydarkman might be in trouble, or let me say, Verydarkman might be heading to jail if care is not taken over the allegation of defamation to the Falanas. But on the other hand, should Bobrisky would have been kept in the male or the female cell? Because according to the prison or correctional service officials, he was kept in a private lodge because of his or her physical features. Don't know whether he's a male. He actually agreed that he's a male, but he has, according to the man, the physical features of the female gender. And it's a very big problem, and it's confusing. Anyway, what do you think about Verydarkman going to prison? Or
well, you shouldn't be talking. I don't think Verydarkman will go to prison for any reason. If all the allegation or what they call the defamatory statement that he had made, if he has evidence to them, if he has all the evidence, then there is no. You see, even when you go to court, the only thing that neutralizes the issue of defamation, be it rebel or slander, is a concrete evidence.
Yeah, but the daughter to the Falana, Femi, the daughter to the son is saying that although Verydarkman is claiming that he's actually said anything, he played the video, the record he got from the person who is complaining that Bobrisky is owing him. Now, but the issue now is there were places he added his own opinion. Like when he talked about that FAS reached out to him, which is actually what Bobrisky said in that the audio. That FAS reached out to him, and they were preparing for like a presidential pardon through his dad. Now, but if you listen to the audio very well, which we'll play here.
Okay, so the man started the pardon. He said he wants to send it to the Minister of Justice in Abuja. So Minister of Justice will now send it to President to approve it. But you know Nigeria now, Nigeria with the corruption and everything, you take it fast to him. That the man, they have to collect 10 million naira for him to get that pardon will clear my name off the record.
Of the record, which is not bad.
That which exactly. So, you know, there's nobody to call because, like, I have friends, but you know, you don't know who set you up, you know, and they've not opened my.
All right. So based on this first voice note, based on Bobrisky's narration in this phone call, Bobrisky is saying that Femi Falana collected 10 million naira in order to wipe his name off the record. Wow. These are people I respected. These are people I look up to. Found the bad guy always talking about, yeah, I'm speaking up for the people. So you are also involved in things like this. It's really, really disappointing. It's obvious that Nigeria might not go anywhere anytime soon. It's obvious. Say Nigeria, I have lost 100% respect for this.
Bob was actually referring to Femi Falana Senior, that is the senior advocate, the lawyer, going through the AG's office, that's the Attorney General's office, to the president. And they were the one demanding for 10 million. But Verydarkman said explicitly in that video that the man collected 10 million from Bobrisky. But that's not what he said in the audio.
Well, you do not know the truth. What I feel is the truth is that there are some elements of those videos that have not yet been made public anyway.
And he said he will release more?
I believe, yes. And I believe that by the time he releases the other part of those videos, maybe the whole truth will come out to limelight. But be it as it may, I still condemn Verydarkman in a way for not actually adhering to media law. Do you understand? When
of a balanced reporting?
Yes, when you want to make a reportage, you have to make it balanced. The first thing he would have done is when he got his hands to those voice notes,
yes.
What he should have done was actually to actually contact the Falanas and then
maybe their spokesperson
or their spokesperson to fact check what he's heard.
Yeah, I'm going public with so.
Otherwise, if anything outside of it is just what they call yellow journalism.
Yeah.
That is just trying to be very sensational.
About
what you're saying.
Totally one-sided.
Blowing things out of proportion.
Assuming it got to them, possibly the spokesperson would have gotten back to them. Our father did not talk to you. This one happened. This one happened. So when he's reporting it, he will say, this is what Bobrisky is saying here. But I got to these guys and this is what they are saying. So people can make up their mind on investigative, like other investigative journalists can go into the matter and actually come about. Coming out to say, the voice note itself, not even directly from Bobrisky, but from the person Bobrisky was owing. So I then start making allegations.
He's owing the person, and then don't also forget that Bobrisky has actually been in touch with with the guy who gave I think 4 million.
4 million, yeah.
And then after a series of altercation and all those brouhaha that they had, the man decided to make a lot of things public about what all the messages Bobrisky has actually given to him. Now, and then if you look at it, now Bobrisky is not actually the one that brought about the defamatory statement. It was
Verydarkman.
Yes, Verydarkman.
Yes.
Who brought it out.
Yes.
Now bringing it out, the defamation is on the part of Verydarkman.
Verydarkman, yes.
If he can't prove it. But I believe, knowing who he is very well, he must have a very solid and concrete evidence. For me, even though he faltered in making some what I might call side comment, and then calling people's name and calling it vehemently and rapaciously, what he should have done was to first of all make his findings.
Yes, from both sides. Yes.
That is what they call, even in law, they call it audio tarem patem. That means you should hear from both parties before you make a decisive judgment. And then balanced reportage. Yeah. Now, if you go to the fact of Bobrisky going actually to the prison, and then he's having a VIP treatment because he claimed to be a shim or a ham, which I don't know which one to call him or her. Yeah,
he actually said, he actually agreed to, he identified as a male in the prison.
Because biologically, listen, this is African culture, and we cannot leave our own extant culture. And culture, even though culture is evolving. But this is a very, very much unwelcomed aspect of those evolution. That you, as a man, you go and do nyash and do breast. And then you come out and then somebody is foolishly defending you. That a lot of rapists and devourers, that they will tear him up if he goes to the male cell. He's a man, and then he should be in the male cell.
No, it's not actually about the prison officials defending him. They are actually there to make the prison yard safe.
It's not about being safe. You yourself, listen, we all listen to that voice note. And then you also see Bobrisky of all people also coming out to say that Nigeria, you know how corrupt Nigeria is.
Yes.
Him trying to bribe the judges, or the people in the office of Attorney General of the Federation to grant him presidential pardon. Is it not bribery?
Yes.
Now, do you need money? Now, do you need up to 10 million naira to get presidential pardon?
No, he's not trying to bribe any person. The application,
it's bribed.
Like according to what the voice note said, that suggestion was made by the Falana. That's what Bobrisky is saying. Then the application started, and when he got to the AG's office, those people were demanding for money. But he actually bribed the FCC. He alleged to have bribed the FCC. That's what he agreed on that place to remove one of the charges. He was charged for money laundering, but they removed that part. You understand? When he got to the prison, also he paid money to stay in a VIP section of the prison. But the prison officials are saying it's part of their procedure.
Now it's also on ground that out of the six, some of the information coming out, he said that out of the 6 months he was meant to stay in prison, he stayed in prison for just 3 weeks. And then he was taken to a private residence because the truth we are beginning to resurface one after the other.
Yes, that he was taken to a private residence. That one, I don't know whether it's within the cell, because the prison officers have agreed that they have such apartments. Yes. Now, if you follow up the Binance CEO that was actually sentenced to, I think it was a community service or something like that in US, was even released 3 days before his final day. I think it was 6 months something. They took him to also a special facility where they confine those kind of things in US. You understand? You know, that is not a big problem. They have those kind of sections in the prison.
Now the question is, are you giving Bobrisky a VIP cell that he is who?
No, you see, this thing is...
No, are you giving him, that is what I want to understand.
No,
are you giving him that treatment because he's the CEO of what company?
No,
or because this is self-disfiguration.
Yes.
He disfigured himself to look like a woman.
Yeah, but
all right, and then you cannot just come and tell me now because I disfigured myself, I should be getting a VIP treatment, and also because I have some money, because this thing has just opened the nyash of so many people in the correctional center, as it's called today.
No, thank God.
A lot of people, yes, because a lot of people, don't be surprised if Evans is in a VIP section in the prison.
When you get to the prison, something happened before you are separated from it's assumed that there's a need for you to be separated from the population. You are now a risk to them. Maybe you can actually infiltrate them with your let me say, you are now corrupt. They don't want those kind of things to continue. So that's why they are taking you to prison. And something must happen when you get to the prison. That's why it's called a correctional center. Now, let's assume Bobrisky is in between, maybe transitioning from male to female or female to male. And then he gets to the prison. Now, the prison shouldn't escalate those kind of things. It's meant to actually correct it. Now, taking that guy that looks like a female to the male section will actually compound the problem, which the prison official does not want.
Does he have the male genitalia? If he does, he's a male. Listen, even hormonally, this is just an example of what happened in the Olympics, where a man who claimed to have transgendered into a woman threw a punch to a biological woman, and she started crying. Within a few seconds, she gave up.
Yes.
She cried. She said that throughout her life, she has never been punched that way. Because a man's adrenaline remains a man's adrenaline. So you can't change it, even if you transgender whatsoever.
No, I don't. I'm not really supporting Bob's flexing with changing of gender and whatever things he's doing. All I'm saying is that the prison officials are right. To have taken her to a VIP session. This is a very complicated issue. If you look at it the way it is, it's not a binary issue. It's not a true or false issue. If this guy, they know what they see. You saw the reverend who came on Arise TV to say that they are chronic homosexuals in that place, and we should expect those kind of things. He said unrepentant ones. You get, and keeping that guy.
No, given her nature. Listen, given her nature. Now you also know that Bobrisky has become more of a woman than a man.
Okay, should Bobrisky have taken to the woman's cell?
Why would you take him and her? Because Bobrisky is now a he and a she.
Yes.
Now, that this is identity crisis for him.
No,
because the major thing is, you see the way Bobrisky is. He's a man.
Yes.
So even if he likes, let him develop multiple breasts on his chest. All right. He's a man. He's a man.
No, but
listen. What I feel is that what the right thing to have been done is to take Bobrisky to the male cell. You see, like when the man was making his analogy, he said that there is where you keep normal convicted criminals.
Yes.
All right. That is, then this one he said is CC.
The people who
were condemned
life.
Like they are on the death row.
Death row, yes.
All right. Now, then
there
are awaiting trial.
Those ones are not the prison guys.
They are more like they are
not
in the prison.
They don't know.
Their fate has not been determined. And then
There's that special unit.
Yes, what you do, you don't keep them with those. You don't keep him with those. Even Bobrisky was convicted.
Yes.
So why not put him in the CC when you keep other convicted people?
Guy. Okay. Let me make this thing clear.
Now, okay, what you mean to tell me now is that almost all our corrupt politicians who has ever been in prison, no wonder they come out and they look so fresh.
No,
as if they've never been anywhere.
See, there are two risks involved with Bobrisky. Yes. Apart from Bobrisky getting injured or being raped. Now, Bobrisky puts a serious...
Is he afraid of being injured? He's a man. If you punch him, he will punch you back.
It's not even that. Even the authorities should not mix Bobrisky up. Let me come. Bobrisky is very dangerous to be mixed up even with the female or male.
Yes.
Now, number one is that Bobrisky is very dangerous because of the ideology he's propagating, which is alien to our culture. Remember that most political prisoners, they don't mix them up. And it's on purpose. They will turn that place into university. Like, just imagine, Namdeka demanded to be taken to Kuje.
Yes.
They don't want you to go to Kuje. The reason is, he goes to that place and he turned that place to university. He will propagate the political ideology. And it happened even in South Africa. If you study Long Walk to Freedom, how Mandela talked about what Asizula and all those guys who when they got to the prison, those guys were his lecturers in school. And they continued the political ideology. They advanced it further. And other people were coming to take ideas from him. And imagine his lieutenants, who were his younger soldiers, that place were with him inside the cell.
Yes.
So when authorities noticed, they have to separate all of them in different places. The same thing. Imagine this guy going into the female or the male arena. Even if they don't do it to him because he has money. I'm telling you, because he has money, he can buy his way out of that place. You've been to some of these cells.
He has money. Because, listen, one problem with all these kind of people, someone like Bobrisky, where there was a video with that one Igungu guy. That where he was showcasing his house and his 2019 G-Wagon.
Yeah, I think he has a range.
He said it's about 200 and something million. He has a car, and then his hair was about 9 point something million, and the other stuff in his hand was about 6 point something. And then you are going to borrow 4 million to sort your way out.
I know, according to him,
and then you refuse to pay.
He was. I don't know whether he's still under investigation before he was arrested. So they froze all his accounts.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what he said, allegedly. So nobody knows actually. And because AFCC saw a lot of transactions into the account. Remember, he said that they asked him, how are you getting all this money? And he said he asked Facebook account. And those guys said no. That this money is more than Facebook money we are getting. He said because actually the woman must be a fraudster, because you watch how from that audio that the FCC saw a lot of transactions in his account, and the only thing you could say is I earn money from my social media account. So that is possibly the only
explanation he has. But he used to be. He's also a brand influencer.
They didn't see the money coming from that side.
There was also a period of time he used to also own this hair.
Yes, I think
company.
Where
they produce
in Lagos, right? Organic creams.
So he has a lot of places of making money, but Imago trying to meet up with the life of a socialite, which Shim has already placed herself in, is also one of the reasons for all these issues. Because if Bobrisky had settled the guy who she borrowed 4 million from, this issue wouldn't have arose. And then the leak, which has gotten to Verydarkman, wouldn't have been there. And the name of Femi Falana will not come into this.
I think Bobrisky is the one losing in all these things and is messing a lot of those things up. Even the people who allegedly connived to help him in all this illicit stuff.
Yeah.
He has actually blown everything. These prison officials is the one causing most of their problems.
Unfortunately, that is the problem most times when you deal with a talkative. And someone who doesn't know what to keep and then what to say.
Yeah.
A talkative sometimes doesn't know when he says.
And he revealed all the secrets, like things he shouldn't have said. He said it to that.
The same person you gave all those messages. You had the temerity to tell him to do his worst, and he has done his worst now.
Blackmail him of even trying to kiss him.
Brought everybody to disrepute. But I just pray that Verydarkman, love him or hate him, he's a very special guy, just like Pidom and what was this? David Hunde. These are people I respect I don't know why a lot of people hate Verydarkman.
No, I think he's
Verydarkman is a very fearless guy. He's been able to take hold the bull by the horn and then do what a lot of other people are afraid of doing. Just like David Hunde.
He must give him the credit.
Fortunately for Pidom, he was granted bail yesterday.
Yes, he must give a lot of kudos to Shore and all those guys who have been involved in that.